Although the tour is self-guided at Pisa and Florence, being with our guide Aaron, and our angels who took us there, Gracia and Salvatore, the trip was very good. Aaron guided us with facts and stories of Pisa and Florence, and guided on what itinerary to have to get the best in the given time of 1 hour at Pisa and 2 hours at Florence. Obviously this time is not enough to see both cities and the places fully, but enough to get the highlights. Also, there was an option to go in gold car through the outskirts and see the panoramic view of Florence from the Piazzale Michelangelo was superb. This view is definitely not to be missed. Even with only this limited time, the trip was great and is worth going if these cities are not in your plan, but you have one additional day in Rome. Both Pisa and Florence are wonderful cities, must visit. And if you get this team, it is wonderful. The trip was great. We only had a few days to explore Italy, and this trip allowed us to check out the iconic landmarks of Pisa and Florence in a day. Of course, these cities have a lot to offer and experience, but it was enough, especially with the limited time we had. As you may know, a tour is only as good as the guide and our driver, and here, Aaron and Giuseppe respectively, and I felt that I was able to appreciate the place more knowing about its history before I came to see it. Like I'd hear it on the bus on the way to the city, and I'd see it in front of me, knowing its significance and importance, made it all much more meaningful. It really did. Go get this tour if you want a taste of these beautiful cities, and come back to them when you can. But you won't regret this. I definitely don't, and I'm left with a feeling of wanting to return when I can. Smooth trip to Pisa and Florence. The bus was so comfy. Our guide Sylvia and driver Benito were very helpful to us. Sylvia was able to tell us the highlights of the place in advance so we know what we need to look out for as soon as we leave the bus. Time is obviously not enough, since it's far away, but with their advice I was even able to enjoy a good slow dinner at Florence. This is a good itinerary if you want to cram Pisa and Florence onto your Rome trip. I'm glad I chose this tour to see more of Italy in my limited time, rather than commuting like I always do. I felt so much more relaxed. It was a great experience joining Amigo Tours to explore Pisa and Florence in a day. Our tour guide, Elisa, planned the timing very well and spent time sharing information about the places with us. I'd recommend this tour. Elisa is such an amazing tour guide. She was very passionate and knowledgeable about the attractions. Props to our driver Joseph/Jose for bringing us safely to all the attractions, and back to Rome. It was a long day, and spent many hours on the bus, but the tour is so worth it. I had an incredible experience on the local tour I joined last week. Despite the long travel time between Rome, the Pisa Tower, and Florence, almost 4 hours, the journey was truly enjoyable. The tour guide was fantastic, and the local travel agent was proactive in keeping in touch before the trip. My time in Italy was unforgettable, and I will cherish every moment spent exploring these beautiful destinations. This is a good way to go outside of Rome and explore different regions of Italy. Buses are very comfortable and safe. I wish there was more time to explore each town. Sylvia was a great guide, very knowledgeable, and I like that she is strict with punctuality. Maybe a physical paper map of Florence would have been more helpful with a sample itinerary to follow rather than a digital guide. It was overwhelming to explore with limited time,